I'm making a left turn. Making a left turn. What am I in, a NASCAR race? Still don't know what to do with my hands. That's all right. Hey everyone, I'm Frank. Welcome back to Next Flight Plan. Today I'm going to be talking about my discovery flight or introductory flight. Different places call it different things. The school I go to calls it an introductory flight, I think is what they call it. Doesn't matter. I paid for it, went up in the air, it was fun. You saw a little tiny preview last time, but you know, we're going to talk more about that one today. Also, assuming you saw the last video, my camera settings were not set right. Maybe they're not perfect right now, but they are a little better. I was cropped in too much. Whatever, it happens, it's fine. But it turns out I had the motion stabilizing on, which actually may have helped a little bit because my camera is mounted to my desk, and every now and then, because I'm at the desk, it's a standing desk, so it's a little wobbly when it's high, and I might lean on it. See, there's the wobble. Sorry if that gave you some motion sickness. I'll do my best not to touch my desk next time, okay? I do want to recap that this channel is all about learning how to fly. It's not teaching how to fly. There's plenty of channels for that, and I'm not a flight school, not certified, and I don't know how to fly yet. And I have a general understanding, but I don't have the training, don't have a certificate, can't do it yet, okay? Now, this is going to be teaching my experience of what I've gone through, what I am going through, and bringing that to you. There's a lot to it, and to become a student pilot, and to then eventually become a pilot, and if you're going to go anything beyond personal, then maybe we'll join you there too. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far this journey is going to take me, but at least getting that first part, we got to get that done. So that's what I'm sharing here now. So today I'm going to be bringing you into the cockpit a little bit. Now, like I said in the previous video, a little tiny preview of me taking off and then my battery dying. Here it is again. And then that was it. Now, thankfully, since there are two of us up there, I was able to mention, oh, look at that. I noticed because the camera is right there in front of us. It's a little GoPro Hero 8. I noticed that it was off and then told me it was overheated. I didn't know if it was okay or not, so she took controls. I pressed the power button on top, which automatically starts recording, and I took them back. That happened 2 more times. So it was completely done in a very completely safe way. I don't want you to think that anyone was doing anything stupid. It was literally, boop, that was it. I actually have a new camera now that can actually withstand the heat, so I shouldn't have to worry about that in the future, okay? Cool? Yeah? All right. So let me tell you a little bit about what happened that day. A lot of it I didn't record because that was just us really meeting the instructor, Miss Hannah, for the first time. And we talked about what our plan was, and then we went over a lot of the checklist. We didn't really go over it in detail because, again, this was mostly for her to make sure the plane was completely ready while giving me an idea of what it takes to make sure the plane is completely ready. So I didn't record a lot of that. I got a little bit of it right here, but there wasn't much to it, okay? The rest of it, I was paying really heavy attention. Camera was not on, and that was that. So that's what we got. So after that, of course, we ended up going inside the plane. She showed us how everything was set up. Got our headsets plugged in, loaner headsets from the flight school. Very handy. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So you've got a little window on your side. You can pop it open. That might help you with some airflow.
What are you, slam the shut or something?
Yep. There you go. That's perfect.
Okay. Pretty much got everything squared away. Realized that the seat belts in here were no different than airline seat belts. They just opened and latched just like you would see on the United flight or American flight. Pretty basic. Another thing I want to point out here is as we go on, you're going to see video of me in the front, and I'm going to look like I have a pretty stoic face, not excited. I might even look bored. I don't know. Believe me and trust me, I was extremely excited, and I was having a great time. I was just in like full concentration mode also. So yeah, there might be a little smile or two here or there. Trust me, I was having a great time. Also, there's a lot of video footage that's taken from the back seat that my daughter was taking on the camera I'm actually using right now to record this. I never gave her any instruction or anything about what to do or how to hold the camera. And I'm only going to be showing little bits of it because there's a lot of motion. I don't want to get anyone motion sick, especially if they're seeing this on a bigger screen, if you're particularly sensitive to that, because it was just wobbling all over the place. I had a tiny little tripod. In fact, it was this little tripod just put into it, and just with the feet, just so that you could just hold it like this. So that was the case there. So if you see little tiny clips looking out the window, looking at the back of my head, that's her. She did a great job. Thanks, Eva. So obviously we went through the internal checklist. She was showing me how to check everything. There's a laminated card, pretty big size card, that's just right up there in the front. We pulled that out, we went over everything that was in there, and she ended up showing not just that we checked this, but exactly how to look at every single thing, cross-reference the checklist, and what exactly she's looking for. It was actually really impressive how many things were on there. I didn't realize everything that was on a checklist, but also it was easy to see that so long as you know what you're looking for, it doesn't take very long to do a checklist. As long as everything looks great, you just keep on rolling. And that's kind of what we did next. And then afterwards, she ended up showing how we started, got the headphones going, and then we rolled out to the, what's it called? Run-up area. That's what it's called, run-up. And so we did that. It was good. It was definitely another part of the learning experience on how all that worked. And then I was learning how to steer using the rudder, and that was cool. And also being able to apply brakes strategically, left to turn harder left, and of course right. Although there were not a whole lot of right turns, just one to get to the runway. And then how we ended up stopping short, but not getting parallel, no, not getting perpendicular, as we were able to look to the left, because we were taking off to the right, to see if there were any planes coming in. And of course there were none. I didn't do any radio transmissions. She did the whole thing, which was probably for the best also because when she was talking to whomever she was talking to, I didn't hear a thing. I heard her perfectly fine, and I heard my daughter in the backseat perfectly fine whenever we were all talking to one another. But when she was talking on the radio, I didn't hear her, I didn't hear the radio. I don't know what was wrong. My guess is that something was plugged in wrong, so we will be addressing that next time, but thankfully I didn't have to worry about that this time. She took care of it all. It was great. And of course, next was takeoff. Takeoff was fun. It was exciting. She showed how you basically push the throttle in over about 3 to 4 seconds to full power, not to push it in completely all at once, and not to go super slow. You want to go 3 or 4 seconds all the way to full power, keeping it going. A little bit of right rudder. I'm pretty sure she took care of the rudder, because I don't think I was doing enough. Because I could feel it moving, so I know she was doing something. And then just pulling back, rotating, and off we went. And of course, camera dies. You know that part. And I think we're up in the air for maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 before I realized it. That's fine. It was all good. One thing to note is that my flight school is in Monroe, North Carolina, which is south of Charlotte. And so we're in the overall radius of the Class B or Bravo airspace for Charlotte Douglas International Airport, but not at that altitude. Where the airport is, it's specifically 4,000 feet and up. That's where Bravo starts. And so we actually went up, we turned south, and we ended up going up to 4,000 feet. But by the time we got there, we were even south of that area. So we were fine. If you're not sure what Class B or Bravo airspace is, I can tell you that a quick internet search with Google or Bing or whoever you prefer, you'll be able to find it real easy. So at this point, I'm flying. I'm having a great time. She's pointing out different things in the sky and on the, well, not in the sky, on the ground. Why is she pointing things in the sky? There's nothing around. I will tell you that I've learned that I was sitting in the wrong spot in this, like, as far as moving forward or back in the seat, because my calves got a huge cramp. You might experience that. It might take you a couple times flying to realize where you actually need to put yourself as far as how close your seat needs to be to your pedals for the rudder, for the brakes, for them to be comfortable. I was too close and I paid for it, but I was already up there. I couldn't do anything about it, and I didn't want to risk changing anything, and I was like, I can handle this, and I did. It was fine. I definitely stretched when I got home. So now we're in the air, and she's having me, basically, she's like, you want to turn at a certain angle. We didn't do anything past about 30 degrees turning. And I did that for one reason. That's only because I had my daughter in the back, and she had never been on a small plane before. I had. I knew I could handle it, but she had not. So I was prepared to go 45 degrees, definitely some more. She was not. So, well, you know what? She might have been. I don't know. But I didn't want to take any chances, so no puking today, right? Really, I think she could have handled it just fine. I was just being overly cautious. But we were in the air for close to an hour, but that was about it. We basically flew almost to South Carolina, turned around. She was like, there's a water tower way off in the distance. And I see like 3 water towers. I'm like, which one? That one. Looks like a mushroom. Okay, got it. So she's like, aim for that. That'll put you right into the pattern. So we did. Got in there. She's calling on the radio. Again, I can't hear her. No idea what she's saying. And when we arrived, we were able to see, looking at the runway, that there was another plane about to take off. And so I was in the pattern and I watched, and it took off. She said, all right, it's our turn. And here's how we do it. We're going to turn around this way. We're going to lose altitude by doing whatever it is that we're doing. Of course, I know that when you turn, you lose altitude unless you give more power and you pull back a bit. So essentially, we just didn't do that part. But we still had to maintain. So essentially, we make a big left turn. We go to land. And at this point, you know, I'm still controlling, but she's controlling like a ton. You know, like I'm feeling, she's like telling me to do everything, but I'm feeling that she's doing everything. And it's fine. I'm learning, and you know, I'm making adjustments with her, and I'm just trying to figure out what it is that she's doing. She didn't have to do too much. We didn't have too much wind, and we touched down. And then we went and parked the plane. I was excited. It was a lot of fun. Daughter had a ton of fun, and I don't know, it was fantastic. I know I keep saying that. So, but I definitely want to give a shout out to my instructor, Miss Hannah. She did a great job. I'd say above anything else, she instilled confidence. She knew exactly what she was talking about. She showed complete poise, confidence while we were in the air. You know, like anytime there's turbulence, I understand turbulence. Daughter's flown a few times in big planes. She understands turbulence, but at the same time, it can feel different in a little plane. You can, you know, it's like you see the whole thing moving with you and around you. Didn't faze her. And since it didn't faze her, it didn't faze us. It was fine. And that's what we need. That's something that I think a lot of people need. Again, I don't think I needed it so much because, again, I've been in little planes before, but still, it's helpful. So thanks. Flight was over. We tied down the plane. We went inside the air conditioning, went to this cool little room where you can see. Maybe I'll get video of it next time. We'll see. But you can see planes taking off and landing. We actually got to see a helicopter taking off while I was there. It was really cool. It's a really nice atmosphere there. Everyone's pretty chill, pretty happy. and I like it there. It's a good place. I've officially signed up for lessons using the same flight school, same place, same instructor. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, my particular flight school requires an orientation meeting, which takes about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours or so, which they then explain how the entire process goes, all the federal requirements, because we're in the United States, of what is required there, and everything else leading up to more flying lessons and moving forward with the instructor. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. In my next video, I'm going to be talking all about that experience, what that's like, what they expect, and what other flight schools in the country are required to do, because, well, there's just regulations that they have to follow, right? And of course, they're going to talk about some of the specific nuances of what makes their flight school different and what things they expect of their students and what things that they should have their students expect of them. All of these things seem reasonable and great, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've also started my ground school, and I've got to go take my medical, which I've scheduled with a doctor. That's going to happen in about a week or so. So those are my next steps. What are your next steps? Are you on the same journey with me? Be sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Or if you're watching this on X, hit the follow button. Follow us here. Either way, we're happy. I'm happy. I just want you to be able to learn from what I'm doing so you can know what to expect when you take this journey yourself. And if you've already been on this journey, please let me know in the comments. Like, give me some pointers, give me some tips. And definitely call me out when I don't use proper terms, because I need to know these things and I don't mind the criticism. It'll be fun, okay? It's all good. I got thick skin. I can handle it. It's all right. So until we talk again, please go ahead and comment below. Let me know all the different things you're thinking about. But most importantly, let me know, what is your next flight plan? See ya. Why do airplanes always seem so calm? Because they've got a lot of altitude. Why do pilots make great comedians? Because they always know how to land a punchline. No. All right, see ya. Should I do these more often?